Battle of Brunanburh was fought in 937 AD between Athelstan, King of England, and the alliance of Olaf Guthrufsson, King of Dublin, Constantine II, King of Scotland, and Owain, King of Strathclyde. The battle is often cited as a point of origin for English nationalism. Historians such as Michael Livingston argue that the men who fought and died on that field forged a political map of the future that remains in modernity, arguably making the Battle of Brunanburh one of the most significant battles in the long history, not just of England, but of the whole of the British Isles. I'm going to read now an extract from the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle, which is a poem about the battle. Athelstan King, lord among earls, bracelet bestower and baron of barons, he with his brother Edmund Atheling, gaining a lifelong glory in battle, slew the sword edge there by Brunanburh, brake the shield wall, hewed the linden wood, hacked the battle shield, sons of Edward with hammered brands. Theirs was this greatness got from their grandsires, theirs as so often in strife with their enemies, struck with for their hoards and their hearths and their homes, bowed the spoiler, bent the Scotsman, fell the ship crews, doomed to the death. All the field with blood of the fighters flowed from when first the great sun star of morning tide, lamp of the Lord God, Lord everlasting, glowed over earth till the glorious creature sank to his setting. There lay many a man marred by the javelin, men of the Northland shot over shield. There was the Scotsman weary of war. We the West Saxons, long as daylight, lasted in companies, troubled the track of the host that we hated. Grimly with swords that were sharp from the grindstone, fiercely we hacked at the flies before us. Mighty the Mercian, hard was his hand play, sparing not any of those with Anlaf. Warriors over the weltering waters, born in the bark's bosom, drew to this island, doomed to the death. 5 young kings put to sleep by sword stroke, 7 strong earls of the army of Anlaf fell on the warfield, numberless numbers, shipmen and Scotsmen. Then the Norse leader, dire was his need of it. Few were his following, fled to his warship, fleeted his vessel to sea with the king in it, saving his life on the fellow flood. Also the crafty one Constantinus crept his north again, hoar-headed hero. Slender warrant had he to be proud of, the welcome of war knives, he that was left of his folk and his friends that had fallen in conflict, leaving his son too, lost in the carnage, mangled to morsels, a young star in war. Slender reason had he to be glad of, the clash of war glaive, traitor and trickster, and spurner of treaties. He nor had Anlaf with army so broken, a reason for bragging, that they had the better of in perils of battle, on places of slaughter and struggle of standards, the rush of the javelins, the crash of the charges, the wielding of weapons, the play that they played with the children of Edward. Then with their nailed prows parted the Norsemen, a blood-reddened relic of javelins over the jarring breaker, the deep-sea billow, shaping their way toward Driftland again, shamed in their souls. Also the brethren, King and Aethelin, each in his glory, went to in his own West Saxon land, glad of the war. Many a carcass are left to the carrion, many a livid one, many a sallow skin, left for the white-tailed eagle to tear it, and left for the horny-nibbed raven to rend it, and gave to the garbaging war-hawk to gorge it. And that grey beast, the wolf of the Weald, never had Huga, slaughter of heroes, slain by the sword edge, such as old writers have written his histories. Happed in this isle, since up to the east hither, Saxon and Angle from over the broad billow, broke into Britain with haughty war workers, who harried the Welshmen, then earls that would hurry lured by the hunger of glory gat, hold of the land. The battle resulted in an overwhelming victory for Athelstan's army. The main source of information is the poem in the Battle of Brunanburh that I had just read in the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle. After travelling north through Mercia, Athelstan's army met the invading forces at Brunanburh in a battle that lasted all day. The English finally forced them to break up and flee. There was probably a prolonged period of hard fighting before the invaders were finally defeated. According to the poem, the English clove the shield wall, hacked the war line with hammers' leavings. There lay many a soldier of the men of the north, shot over shield, taken by spears. Likewise, Scottish also sated, weary of war. Wood states that all the large battles were described in this manner. The description in this poem is not unique to Brunanburh. Athelstan and his army pursued the invaders until the end of the day, slaying great numbers of enemy troops. Olaf fled and sailed back to Dublin with the remnants of his army. and Constantine escaped to Scotland. Owen's fate is not mentioned. According to the poem, then the Northmen, bloody survivors of darts, disgraced in spirit, departed on Ding's mare in nailed boats over deep water to seek out Dublin and their own land again. Never was there been greater slaughter since the Angles and Saxons came here from the east, seized the country. The Annals of Ulster describe the battle as great, lamentable and horrible, and record that several thousand Norsemen fell. Among the casualties were 5 kings and 7 earls from Olaf's army. The poem records that Constantine lost several friends and family members in the battle, including his own son. The large list of those killed in the battle is contained in the Annals of Siamanacnos, which names several kings and princes. A large number of English also died in the battle, including 2 of Athelstan's cousins, Elfwine and Athelwine. The exact location of the battle is unknown, although some historians believe it could be in Brunanburh by the Wirral, where a field was found with many artifacts of metalwork conclusive of a Viking army camp. Although other sites have been suggested, such as Barnsdale in South Yorkshire, Brinsworth in South Yorkshire, Bromswold, Burnley, Burnswalk situated near Lockerbie in southern Scotland, Lanchester, County Durham, Hunwick in County Durham, Lonsborough and Nunboomholm, East Riding of Yorkshire, Haysham in Lancashire, Burton upon Humber in North Lincolnshire, and Little Weighton, East Riding of Yorkshire, although the debate still rages as to where the actual battle was fought. The above videos of which you saw is a reenactment of the battle from the Viking Festival held by the Vikings reenactment group on the 25th of June 2022. It was a very enjoyable experience to watch, and they really went at it and really reenacted the battle to the fullest of their abilities. So if you haven't been along to see any of their shows before, I recommend going to some of their living history days or weekends. It's a really good experience. You'll get to walk around the camps and see how Vikings and Saxons prepared for battle and everyday life. So yeah, it was a great fun, great day, and really recommend it. And yeah, so thank you for watching what I filmed and listening to me rabble on about the battle from the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle, and other excerpts were taken from the Wikipedia page of the Battle of Brunanburh. Thank you for watching and listening.